Alright, welcome back guys to Chicago Karl. I'm Chicago Karl, thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be bringing you our AL West prediction video for the 2021 season. We're going to be going over standings predictions, placement predictions, and some individual players predictions. But before we start, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure to check us out on Instagram at chicagokarl.yt. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at chicagokarl. And be sure to drop a comment down below telling me what you think of this upcoming season. So to start, coming in last place, this should be a surprise to nobody, we have the Seattle Mariners. And the main reason for this is the fact that they're just not going to field a competitive baseball team this year. Their roster is pretty bare bones for the most part. Obviously, I think Kyle Lewis will be a prospective fun guy to watch up in Seattle. I think he has a lot of improvement to do, and I think in 2, maybe even 3 years, he might be one of the top 5 outfielders in Major League Baseball. But regardless, they still have Kyle Seager, who has remained rather healthy recently, and if he continues to do so, he'll be a very productive guy on the roster. They've got James Paxton, who I think is a great pitcher, Mitch Haniger, who is a guy that has been involved with a lot of early trade talks for some reason, even though I think he could stay with the team. You have Evan White, Ty France, Yusei Kikuchi, who is a guy that a lot of people are very optimistic about. Taylor Trammell, or Trammell if you want to pronounce his name, is a very good player who I think could be doing something productive for this team. You have Justice Sheffield, who is a guy that might start down in AAA, might start the club roster, I don't know. Marco Gonzalez, Ken Giles, and Kenyon Middleton are the only other notable pitchers. The roster, like I said, there just aren't too many bright spots. This is essentially a filler roster for the Mariners because, give it 2, 3, maybe 4 years. Mariners are going to be a very competitive baseball team, and the guys that are going to make this team competitive just aren't here yet. Give it 2 to 3 years though, Mariners are going to be up there with the best of the teams, and I think if their front office can just get their heads out of their butt, they're going to have a competitive team to watch pretty soon. Coming in 4th place, a team that is sort of in a similar boat like the Mariners, is the Texas Rangers. The Rangers are still kind of in rebuilding mode, kind of not. They've had good guys come up and play at the club roster. They've had good guys play down for their minor league teams, and some of them made their way up. Still, the bright spots on the roster, definitely Joey Gallo. He's always a fun guy to watch. They have Chris Davis, who is a bit of a baseball meme, but can still be a fun guy to watch occasionally. Kohei Arria came over. He's going to be a good pitcher for this team. They have Rougned Odor, who's fun. Nate Lowe, Ronald Guzman, David Dahl came over from Colorado. Nick Solik, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He's a good young guy to watch. Kyle Gibson came over from the Twins. He's going to be a good guy that's going to hold this rotation accountable. Dane Dunning came over from the Sox. He's a fun bullpen arm with a lot of potential. Willie Calhoun is on the roster. Sam Huff, Jose Trevino, Mike Fultonewicz. Hope I'm saying that right. I always get his name wrong. But he came over from Atlanta. He's a fun guy to watch. I think this team is going to be competitive this year, but I don't think it'll be competitive enough to really push for a playoff spot. I'm definitely giving them 4th place as far as a win projection goes. I'd give the Rangers, right around 72, 77 wins, right around there. I think they're going to be in that threshold of teams. After the Rangers, though, 3rd place, we have the Houston Astros. This should also not be a huge surprise to anybody. The Astros are a form of their former Major League selves. As far as pitching goes, they still have Justin Verlander. They still have Zach Greinke. They still have guys like Lance McCullers Jr. I believe they still have Jose Urquidy. Pitching is not going to be the problem. That's not going to be the thing that holds this team back. What I think will hold this team back, rather, is just the fact that they don't have the firepower they once had. Carlos Correa is a perennial MVP candidate year in and year out. I don't know how that's going to be this year. Jose Altuve is a guy that people love to hate. I don't know. He's going to play this year. I don't like him. I don't think he'll be too productive. They do have Michael Brantley. They still have Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, Jason Castro, Yuli Uriel, everyone's favorite racist, Pedro Baez, Framber Valdez, Kyle Tucker, Ryan Stanek, Miles Straw, Martin Maldonado, and Chas McCormick. So they still have some bright spots and guys that have led this team for the past few years. And they still have some young guys on this roster that have been sort of down the AAA level, sort of coming up for a couple games here and there. I think they'll be a serviceable team, but I think that this division, the AL West, is just leagues better than it has been in years past. And I think that's what's really going to hold the Astros back. But, you know, this is not going to be a bad baseball team. If you were to tell me that 2 of the wildcard teams were to come out of the AL West right now, I'd probably believe you, because I think these top 3 teams in here are just that good. And coming in at the second spot, shocker to some people, maybe not, we have the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I just think, flat out, they don't get past the Athletics this year. I just don't think it happens. Obviously, the Athletics were a playoff team last year, but the Angels this year have Shohei Ohtani, who is a two-way guy, as we all know. Can he stay healthy? Probably not. Maybe he will. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Mike Trout, the best player in baseball. After that, we have Albert Pujols, a guy that everyone's just waiting for to retire. Jose Iglesias is a young guy that could maybe turn it around. Maybe. He'll be serviceable. I think he's better than Andrelton Simmons at shortstop for this team, though. Jose Quintana is going to be a good guy. Hopefully they're going to pitch with him out of the pen. He's not serviceable enough to have him as a starter. They're going to have Anthony Rendon at third base, a big signing they made back in, not this last offseason, but 2 off seasons ago. Hopefully him and Trout can put something together. This team just really, everyone knows it, they fail to get pitching around Mike Trout. That's what holds this team back. They fail to just get some arms year in and year out. They fail to do it this offseason. Do I think that, maybe with the strength of Trout, Ohtani, Iglesias, Rendon, Fowler, and Odell, and David Fletcher, I guess now he's come out of his shell. Do I think that can lead them to a playoff spot? Maybe. I think it could. I wouldn't bank on it. But I don't know. I think this year is going to be a breakout year for the Angels. They've sort of been just hanging around in mediocrity for the past few years, and it's been tough because they've wasted really the best years of Mike Trout. This year, though, hopefully they can turn it around. I think they will a bit. I just think they need to get pitching soon, or else it's going to get insane in Los Angeles. Obviously, David Fletcher, Joe Adell, 2 guys who have proven their worth for this team. Joe Adell, I hope, will perform to his projected standards. If not, then he doesn't. But yeah, I think it's hard to win games when your best pitcher is Dylan Bundy. Okay? Sorry. Alex Cobb, Dylan Bundy, they're not going to be big rotation guys. They can't help this Angels team win 90, 100 games. They need pitching. But coming in at first place, that's enough of the Angels talk. We have the Oakland Athletics, last year's AL West winner. They were a playoff team. Obviously, they have the big man, Matt Chapman, at third base. They've got Matt Olson. They've got Jesus Luzardo. This roster is looking good, as it does every single year. Ramon Laureano is going to play to his potential, I think, this year. They've got other guys on this team that are notable, like Mitch Moreland. They've got Sean Manaea. Pitching is this team's stronghold. They have a ton of good arms. They have Jesus Luzardo, like we said, AJ Puck, Trevor Rosenthal, who I think is going to be a good guy out of the pen for this team. Mike Fiers, who they've got, that is a good guy to watch start. Sergio Romo, who is still a shell of his former self, still a serviceable player regardless. Sean Manaea is a fun guy to watch every single night. Adam Kolarek was promising. They've got guys like Chris Bassett, Frankie Montes, Chad Pinder, who isn't a pitcher, but he's a good second baseman. Steven Piscotty, a very good outfielder. I think this team's going to be very good. I think Matt Olson and Matt Chapman combined are probably the best corner infielder duo in professional baseball, if I'm being honest. And yeah, I think this team's going to be carried by their defense, carried by their pitching. Not going to be a very productive offensive team, but I think they'll be a fun team to watch down in Oakland. Hopefully, it's not the stereotypical Oakland thing where they just get their guys, they can't pay them, they walk and go somewhere else for free agency. Hopefully this team can stay around and gel and make a few playoff pushes, but if not, then, they don't. But this year, I think either this year or next year are the last 2 years in that scenario that this team is serviceable for a deep playoff run. They've got to do it soon. So, thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. Just to recap, we have the Mariners in last place. I don't think that team is going to win more than 70 games. I'd put them at 68-94 record. After that, we have in fourth place the Texas Rangers. I don't think that team's going to, I told you, 72-77, right around their wins. They could be 75-97, I'm sorry, 75-87, that would not surprise me. After that, we have the Houston Astros in third place. I'm going to give the Houston Astros right around an 81 record. That's where I see them falling, maybe give them 82 games, but that's their peak. And after that, we have the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in second place. I'm going to give them 86, 87 wins. That's the thing. That's a good mark for this team. That's where I think they belong. Especially, I mean, like I said, they don't have pitching. They need pitching if they want to start winning 90, 95, 100 games. Their offense is capable of doing it, but they've got to get some arms. And the Athletics I have going in first place. I see no reason why the A's can't win 90 games. I see no reason why they can't win 95 games. Truthfully, that's all I got to say about the Athletics. I think they have a great roster this year. They'll be a super fun team to watch. Good luck to all these teams. Hopefully they perform well. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you made it to the end of this video. Be sure to comment down below. Tell me what you think of this upcoming MLB season. Let me know if you disagree with any of my predictions. Check us out on Instagram at chicagocarl.yt. You can check us out on Twitter at chicagocarl. Have a nice day. Continue to watch some March Madness and tune in to future videos.